You're listening to DraftKings Network.
You know that sound. It's the sound of money hitting your Venmo account, a friend paying you back, or maybe it's getting cash back from your favorite business when you pay with the Venmo debit card, or it's realizing you can pay with Venmo at checkout at thousands of brands. Now, there are so many more ways to answer the question, what's your Venmo? Download Venmo today. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Dosh Cashback terms apply.
Folks, the playoff season is here, and the only thing better than the game day predictions are the foods that come with them. Introducing Tums Fantasy Food Ball Pool, brought to you by Tums, America's #1 antacid brand, and DraftKings. Each week leading up to the big game, turn football into food ball by building your best game day plate for a shot at winning a share of $40,000 in cash prizes. Inspired by game day bites and tailgate treats, join the Tums Food Ball action during this playoff season's most heartburn-inducing times. Visit DraftKings.com/TumsFoodball between January 6th and February 9th to enter for free and select your game day plate before the start of each playoff round. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See terms at DraftKings.com/TumsFoodball. When you feel the heat of the game, don't let the heartburn keep you on the sidelines. Try Tums Chewy Bites with a tasty outer shell and soft center for fast relief of heartburn, acid indigestion, and upset stomach. Check out Tums Gummy Bites, featuring a soft and easy-to-chew format for fast relief of occasional heartburn, acid indigestion, sour stomach, and upset stomach. Both available at Amazon, Target, and other major retailers nationwide. And for more heartburn relief fun, be sure to follow Tums at Tums Official on Instagram and TikTok.
Shadow Show.
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 Shadow in it.
Shadow in it.
Stugotz, I've got a problem today.
What happened?
Greg Cote is in, and I want to spend 4 hours talking about his shirt because he's wearing the same shirt he was wearing last time, and he looks good in his shirt, and his wife should buy a dozen of them for him.
Yeah.
All different colors because he shouldn't wear anything but this shirt for the rest of his life, and he knows it, and so he's wearing it all over the place.
So what's the problem?
Yeah, hold on. He's doing what you're saying he should do.
Yes,
do it till you're satisfied.
I want
Exactly.
to thank
Yeah.
you. Well, thank you, Billy, for the way that you expressed that, because the request I'm going to make of you is this. It is rare in 20 years as we celebrate our 20th anniversary that I come in here and I see Billy in bucking bronco form. He's got a sports topic in his teeth and he's screaming at a room full of people about Billy Wagner and the Hall of Fame.
He's in the Hall of
And
Fame.
I have a Hall of Fame voter to my right. I have genuine indignation in the room, nationally and internationally, that someone would dare to not vote for Ichiro for the Hall of Fame.
That's fine.
I know. I can't believe I didn't. Never thought I'd be the only one.
Don't do that, Craig, because people are not going to know you're joking and they're looking for blood today.
Yes.
I don't think he's joking.
I wish it were you. I mean,
I know. I do too.
We don't know that it's not. In fact, I think you should sink into it unless we're going to shame out this voter, because John Heyman, in protection of all things sacred in baseball, says Ichiro missed unanimity by 1 vote. Please step forward, you numbskull.
that is rough for Heyman. I mean, that's as far as he'll go.
Numbskull is the bridge too far on insult?
No, it's as far as John Heyman is willing to go. So he's really pissed off.
That's an old-timey insult. Numbskull.
I like it.
Yeah, that's from like the 60s.
Bob Ryan was not too thrilled about this situation either, Dan. I don't know if you saw what he said. He said, whoever did not vote for Ichiro in the Baseball Hall of Fame election should have his or her voting rights revoked and should be placed under house arrest because clearly that person is unhinged and a clear danger to society.
And a dipshit. I wish they just ended it with and a dipshit. Just up the numbskull to dipshit.
2 syllables is key. I like asswipe, but
Good one.
Numbskull is old. It just means someone whose skull is numb. Like that's.
I'm guessing. I mean,
I think numbskull is Three Stooges era.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
How about house arrest, though? I mean, seems a bit excessive.
Well, people are upset about this today. I can't believe this is what I walked into today. Football is gone, and you guys immediately lapse into fighting about the Hall of Fame?
Is it weird that there's some times that I hope for house arrest? Like I
Yes.
never looked up
We
what
all
it
had
is.
that in 2020.
Yeah, and I was
It didn't
fine.
go well.
No, I was okay.
I don't know. Did you have that in Florida?
What, house arrest? Voluntary.
I don't know.
Seems like a breeze.
Yeah, nah, it just seems like a get out of jail free. I mean, you're in jail. I guess your house is your jail, but it's like a get out of jail free card for certain things you don't want to do, right? Like, I can't house arrest, and then you show them a little ankle monitor. Like, I should look up what you can do to get house arrest and get out of.
As I said, he's a bucking bronco. Let's get started. I want to ride this into the sky.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Have at it, Billy. Go ahead. Give the people your baseball arguments. You've got a.
Oh, I thought we were doing house arrest again because I looked it up.
You've got a quantified. You've got a quantified Hall of Fame voter over here. He's got.
Quantified, wow.
He's empirically one of the most powerful people at judgment in baseball, and his ballot every year. You've been doing it for how long now?
Aaron Judgment. I think I've had a vote for 10 or 12 years.
Okay, you're very
10 or
proud.
12,
you're very
huh?
proud of that vote. I don't know on career prides, decorated legendary.
Did you hear that through the glass?
Are you okay? Did you get some on your hand? It seemed like you looked at your hand in the sneeze. I've told people around here, Jessica, I've told people around here to have the microphones on at all time that your sneeze is comedic gold and we need to stop whenever it is present. We need to stop.
Thank God I'm wearing a waterproof jacket today. I like that. That sneeze is all over my arm.
Bless you.
Lehman got it for me in New Zealand. He was there for the World Cup last
Oh,
year.
that's so nice.
Yes.
Notre Dame colors on purpose, yes? Proudly
Yes.
Notre Dame today.
Imagine if Notre Dame was a Nike school and we could have things like this all the time. Under Armour, you're on notice.
There's two things in this world that you don't want to check, but you got to. When you use the restroom number 2 and when you sneeze in your hand. You don't want to, but you got to look just to make sure everything.
Yep.
Make sure everything's
That's true.
fine.
It's fair.
Oh, don't act like you don't look that. You have to look. You're just checking, making sure.
I said that's fair. Why are you lashing out at
no,
me?
No, it's Billy in the background.
But what are you checking on when
Just
you
to
go to
make
the
sure
bathroom?
making sure everything's
Inside the
kosher.
bowl?
Everything's kosher.
Yeah.
There's no red. Just making sure everything's the color it should be.
Why not at home though? I mean,
No, I'm saying you do it at anytime
anywhere.
you do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You check every time. I'm
And
with
the
you.
hand. And
Yeah.
and like Jess just did, you sneeze in your hand. You don't want
It
to look.
wasn't my hand, it was my elbow.
But you got to check. You check the elbow. You just got to make sure nothing.
Have you ever seen red?
Yeah, have you ever found anything concerning?
No.
I've passed out from the blood.
What?
What?
Really?
I'm sorry.
That's a very vague statement. Blood from that situation? Just general blood?
Please expand.
I don't know if I want to. You guys have gone a little bit far down this path,
We
a little
did.
further. Yeah, well, I ended the proceedings the way that I did.
Classic brown wave.
Right, but you left us hanging.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, I would like the video department right now to find that video of Jessica sneezing into her hand and see if there's some liquid and see if she checked it and see if it's on her sleeve. Video, please tell me that you'll have slow motion of Jessica sneezing. I believe our show needs to stop immediately when the sneeze appears, genuflect before it and Notre Dame, and celebrate all things that are her allergies.
Jesus bless.
Jessica strikes me as the kind of person who actually says the word achoo when sneezing. Not many people do, but she does, I think.
right.
Achoo.
Rare. Yes, you're right.
Exactly.
Thank you. Billy,
You're
I
welcome.
feel like some light insider trading you could get a little ankle monitor for.
I looked this up. I don't want to go down the path of house arrest just because of what you need to do. So like fraud, embezzlement, shoplifting, bad checks, like, okay, that's not that bad. Driving under the influence, like, we don't want to do that. Unless it's like controlled, right? Where you go to like a closed road and you self-report and you like tell the cop, hey, this is the time I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
I already put up the cones. Like
No
I'm
one's
just-
in danger.
Exactly right. I'm
Right.
just looking for some house arrest here. I can't fulfill social obligations for the next, 6 months to a year and a half or whatever. So,
Billy, but you
just
want-
come over here, park by the side of the road. This is the deal. So we do it the safest way possible, right?
Couldn't you just purposely, like, you drive sober but purposely fail a field sobriety test?
I guess, but like, I think I want the whole experience.
Wow, that's a good idea.
You have to have a clean record and you have to have strong ties to the community.
It's
you know
a
that, right?
Good idea.
To get what?
To get house arrest.
House arrest?
Yes.
I think I'm okay.
You have a clean record?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, until I have my fake Dewey, you know?
So Greg Cote is on board with being a soldier in your army marching toward house arrest, which is just, can I be sedentary at home? Leave me alone for a while. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to see people. I don't have to visit. I don't have to.
Imagine having the ability to say, I can't go out with you tonight.
I know, but so Billy is saying,
can I just buy a house arrest monitor and put it on myself to tell people? Hold on a second.
They are for sale. I looked it up.
Really? How much?
I'm seeing here they're a little pricey. $220, $370. I see a couple here.
But really, what's the price of your freedom?
Right.
Well, this is the thing.
See if we can get a deal on 2 of those.
So
okay?
Guillermo, child of exiles, is
$14.99.
willing to give up his freedom in exchange for, can I just stay home with my kids for a while? They'll be a prison of their own kind, but it'll be less complicated for me than obligations and parties I have to go to elsewhere. Please just let me stay at home and not go anywhere, and give me just the excuse that I can tell others, I'm sorry, I cannot entertain.
It's a great out.
I can't entertain time with you. I can't be with someone.
We define
I'm
freedom.
forbidden by law.
We define freedom very differently. For you, freedom is not being under house arrest. For me, freedom is.
It's your heaven.
Exactly right.
So you're saying,
looking into this Noro and how I could spread it.
You're saying that at this point, your life, you would like it reduced to just your home, so you can have the excuse of, I don't have to interact with anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I have a small home, so it will get old after a while, but, you know, for a week or two, it's fine.
But it's home.
Man, the pandemic changed everything.
It really did.
Yeah.
I mean, a whole lot of people realize, I'd just rather be home. I'd rather be home watching Netflix.
I think I was stressed out about the fact that I was taking it so well. If I'm looking back, I was like, I'm adapting to this very well. Something must be wrong with me because everyone else is freaking out. And then obviously the anxiety kicks in. It's like, well, what's wrong with me? Why am I not having stress over this situation? I should be handling this much more poorly.
It wasn't just because you were stuck at home. It's because you knew everyone else was. So it's not like you were missing out on, any social obligation.
I'm really good with FOMO. Like, I don't have it. I'm fine with other people having fun on their own. I don't feel like I need to be part of other people's fun. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Like, you guys
okay
can go,
with house arrest.
You guys can go have your fun. Like, enjoy yourself. I hope you guys have a good time. I don't need
Billy
to be part
has
of
gotten closer to happier recently, I think, I'm saying, from afar, as he has shrunk his life. And I'm just going to be with these things that I love the most.
Well, I mean, I don't mind when they leave the house, too, you know? It's really, like, if I could be in my house by myself. Oh.
It's like a vacation.
Exactly right.
It's terrific.
You have to start sending the family away, Billy.
But you have to pretend like you're sad about it. Like, oh, no.
Oh, yeah, no, of
Wait,
course.
Lehman, you have to go on a work trip? Oh, that stinks.
Get me a jacket.
Yeah, when my wife is traveling and she's away on business for 2-3 days, it's the best time of the year.
Well,
and that's nothing against her.
Probably shouldn't say that out loud.
Right.
That's fine.
No, I mean
She knows.
She knows what I mean.
She
She's
feels
having
the
a good
same
time
thing.
as well,
Yeah.
yes.
It's mutual.
She's like, this is amazing.
It's like a trial divorce.
This hotel room is so quiet.
Oh, believe me, yeah, she probably does
He's
think
not
that.
snoring.
And more power to her. I do snore like a lumberjack.
Same.
But I've said this a couple times, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Greg, but like the best sleep that I've gotten since my children were born was the night that I had to stay in the hospital because I had kidney stones and I stayed there alone. And like I've had
You loved it.
I've had a fear like my entire life of being alone in the hospital. But I was like, well, I have 2 young kids. Like, don't stay. Like, you need to be home with the kids, take care of the kids. Like, I'll brave through this. I will. Like, this is one of my fears, being alone in the hospital overnight. But like, I'll do it. And I woke up and I was like, oof. Can we get another night of this? Like, I haven't passed him yet. Like, how do we hold this over one more day? Doc, I think I'm still feeling something here.
Another stone?
Yeah. Oh, I think we got another one. It was great.
I'm sure.
I mean, the drugs helped.
Oh, yeah, of course. They always do.
Billy,
Minor drug offense.
I think a lot of people are connecting with you. I will say, I want to tell everybody here, the Greg Cote Show featuring Greg Cote
Fine.
will give you coughs. If sneezes aren't enough here, you can get coughs over there because they are consistently making me laugh. The dynamic between you guys, Hee Haw 3, with coughs, because because right now, comedically, I don't think there's anything funnier going in comedy right now than saying the thing that makes Greg Cote laugh and then predicting when that laugh will become a cough.
Yeah.
It's delayed, right?
It's so sad.
It morphs.
I mean, the idea that laughing would be the one thing that makes me cough is cruel. It's cruel and unusual punishment on the part of fate.
Why'd you poop blood?
It's a good question.
Happens to the best of us.
Colitis?
We're all thinking about it, Dan.
Okay, I didn't want to go there, and I just did it to give us a segue into other things, to jar the room into this is not appropriate. Let's move on.
Okay.
And let's get to Jessica's jacket. I am well aware, Stugotz, that whenever you're here, if it's poop talk, that you want the ball and you want to dribble it. I know.
I mean, I'm concerned about you. You said you pooped blood, and that would be right, and passed out. And so I didn't know if it was true or not.
I was really just trying to move
I'm sorry.
out of the conversation where you guys were spending so much time on Chris Cote's general lack of hygiene, the sneezing into the hand.
I have a new topic. So I have it on very good authority. I don't know if you guys saw yesterday. There was a lot of sports writers talking about how the lines at TSA at the Atlanta airport were 2 hours long. And it was just like a complete mess. They weren't ready for the amount of people that were going to be flying out of Atlanta yesterday. I have it on good authority. A certain sports media person cut the line.
What?
Really?
Huh.
Uh-huh.
This is your exclusive reporting?
Name names.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm not going to say, but you can guess. I'll probably be right.
The Golics seem to still be in hotel rooms.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we might be able to rule
Gojo
that.
Golic was stuck on the tarmac for 3 hours.
And
yeah.
he's still in Atlanta right now. Man.
How about they canceled school in Tallahassee in northern Florida? Are you kidding me? Like, my daughter is going to school right now in Chicago. It is 14 below there, and it's 38 degrees in Tallahassee. We've shut down school.
Well, let me ask the people here if they've seen snow in Florida before, because I think this is a really rare weather event. I'm not used to seeing beaches in Florida, Destin, where you're used to seeing sand there. Instead, there is snow over the sand. Is that something that's been seen in... I'm 50, and I remember people talking about snow in the 70s in Florida, but...
I lived it.
Okay, so was it this?
No, it was barely snow. It was a dust. I remember I was in college at the time because it took me 15 years to get through college. And I remember a haze of white on my windshield that morning in 77, whenever that was.
It was in 77.
Are we just shrugging our shoulders on the idea of it's a bit apocalyptic when it's snowing in Florida? Like, that's not a thing that's normal.
Well, it's snowing in Tallahassee, which is, I mean...
Barely Florida.
It's the northernmost part of Florida, so if it's snowing in Atlanta, it would stand to reason snowing in Tallahassee is not that far off and not that big of a deal, right?
I welcome it as a near lifelong Floridian. I like snow. Like I would like snow 3 or 4 times a year.
Is Tallahassee both barely Florida and the most Florida?
Yes.
Yes.
Same with Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw videos of Bourbon Street with like 3 inches of snow on the ground. That blew my mind.
Jessica, where are you on the emotions of the national championship? Because,
What a segue.
We did,
Sad.
Really?
I'm okay, actually.
You seem well adjusted.
I was complaining to Greg the entire time we were getting our makeup done about certain aspects of the weekend that were unsavory, and I feel like I got a lot off my chest. So now I feel better.
What does that mean?
I felt like the city of Atlanta was surprised by the fact that there was a national championship game Monday. And there were several bars that we went to where there was like one bartender working, and it was kind of a mess. They didn't know that there were going to be so many people trying to be indoors. There was a situation where there was like a tailgate party indoors where the fire marshal was like turning people away, and they're like, you can't come in, there's too many people in here, because everyone was so cold. And it was just a big cluster on Monday, I would say. And then the in-stadium situation, the DJ was very, very loud. He was very loud. He was singing a lot. It was too much.
Wow.
People at that game, they're paying a lot of money to be at that game. You don't need to like convince them to cheer. It was a very loud and raucous atmosphere.
What are you making faces about?
Because that strikes a chord with me. I have been campaigning my entire life with no success to do away with the whole idea of cheerleading. Okay, sports fans know how to cheer. We don't need somebody on a sideline waving a pom-pom, doing a dance, kicking their legs. Mm-hmm. The whole idea of cheerleaders, and I apologize if there's any cheerleaders out there listening, but it's useless. Sports does not need cheerleading. And to Jess's point, we don't need a hype guy. At a national championship game, you got a guy trying to hype the crowd. The crowd's hyped. Everybody's paying $5,000 to get there. Can't even leave because the TSA's too slow. Because the college football apparatus did not. I blame the CFP for this. I don't blame the city of Atlanta.
Right.
This doesn't happen at Super Bowls.
Nice of you. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
So less music and no cheerleaders. This got a lot less fun really quickly.
Well, Greg,
Really.
I have a question for you. Is the problem the cheerleaders or is it the lack of cheer followers? Because we have cheerleaders trying to lead cheers that no one chooses to follow,
Well, to
and then
Greg's
people
point,
go rogue.
To Greg's point, no one wants to be told when to cheer, how to cheer. We're going to cheer.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, no, I love a good over the PA system, and then I get to scream charge. If not for that sound, I would never scream charge, and I would never clap my hands with everyone in unison. They need to tell me, everybody clap your hands, and then we know it's time to clap our hands.
Yeah, Greg, it's an odd take from you only from this standpoint. I agree with what it is you're saying, but you strike me as someone who would love to be a hype man.
Did you audition to be a golden oldie?
He would love to have a hype man.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be.
Getting the crowd all charged up. I'm Greg Cote. I mean, I could see Greg doing that.
When we asked him to do it at our play in New York or whatever that thing was we were doing in New York, he ran on the stage, ran past the microphone, and forgot all his lines. He wants to have the hype man. He does not want to be the hype man. We asked him to do it for us.
I mean, a lot of his sayings are hype man-y things to say. Do it till you're satisfied.
I'm a natural hype man.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, I could be a hype man.
And you know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Be a hype man.
Hey friends, Jeremy here, and like a lot of you, I imagine, I'm someone who has multiple jobs, wearing multiple hats, working all sorts of different hours throughout the week, and it can be kind of exhausting. Did you know that sleep is actually one of the most important parts of recovery? Whether you're a pro athlete or you're just looking to crush your day, getting the right kind of rest is key, and that's where Sleep Number smart beds come in. Because since 2018, Sleep Number has partnered with the NFL to help elite athletes get the quality sleep they need to perform at their best. In fact, 80% of NFL players sleep on a Sleep Number smart bed. That's unbelievable. Tough workout? The Sleep Number smart bed can be adjusted to suit your needs. Firmer one night, softer the next, giving you the ultimate recovery boost. And let's talk about those sweaty, sleepless nights. I know they happen a lot here in South Florida. Well, the new Climate Cool smart bed adjusts up to 15 degrees cooler on either side with scientifically designed cooling programs to keep you comfortable and undisturbed. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now save 40% on the new special edition smart beds. Ends Monday. Shop a Sleep Number store near you. Sleep Number, official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
What is Dax, are you?
Tracking all our cars on Carvana Value Tracker on all our devices? Yes, Kristen, yes I am.
Well, I've been looking for my phone for...
In Dax's domain, we see all. So we always know what our cars are worth.
All of them?
All of them. Value surge, trucks up 3.9%.
That's a great offer.
I know. Sell?
Sell.
Track your car's value with Carvana Value Tracker today.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yes, Mike?
Have you ever had a fireside conversation during a football Sunday during the winter?
Sure. We don't have a lot of fireplaces down here, but I've had the premise of it.
I wish I could, but it's South Florida. When it gets down to the 60s, we're like, we're bundled up, but certainly no fireplaces. Still too warm for that. But we do have our football Sundays. And one thing that always makes football Sundays good, and I know you've had plenty of experience in your life with this, Miller time.
Oh, yeah.
Miller Lite makes the winter better. It makes football Sundays better. It makes even hanging out around you better.
Thanks, Mike. That was kind.
I appreciate that. You're my friend. When I have a Miller Lite in my hand, pretty much everybody is my friend because we are like-minded. Because we like beer that actually tastes like beer. Oh, and now, the new year, it's the perfect time to have a Miller time. Miller Lite is brewed for taste. People out there, I want you to listen to me. And Jeremy, you too. Because you know, it hits just different than other light beers. The original light beer since 1975, and still the very best one. Miller Lite. Great taste. 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Dan Le Batard.
That's how it's going to end. The mailing it in end of the retirement, Chris, go get me this. It's just going to be him coming out and hitting the one or two notes of that kind of thing, and you know it, and then just giving us finger guns and leaving.
Baby.
You should listen to the Greg Cote Show podcast because that's all we do for 55 minutes a week is just say catchphrases. We even make songs about them. And You Know It is a song, for crying out loud. That's great. Hopefully that's a Suey nominee for Best Song. And you know it, baby, and you know it.
Stugotz.
And you know it, baby, and you know it. And you know it, baby, and you know it. And you know it, baby, and you know it.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I could be a hype man.
The world's worst hype man. But
in a hip hop ensemble.
That's true.
You don't have to.
What?
I heard that.
No,
Yeah.
I would be.
Yeah.
I would be the guy in the hip hop ensemble filling in dead space by go.
Yeah, the hype.
Yeah.
The hype. Yeah, the hype.
Yeah.
The hype man. Yeah.
Hype man.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you would enjoy that. Yeah.
That was kind of what you did at the Vegas show last year. Like you were the hype. What?
He was the crowning jewel of the Hee Haw 3.
But he was
no
also
doubt.
hyping up like the show from
I
this
am
other stage.
The leader of the Hee Haw 3.
Yeah, you are.
Founder as well.
Yep.
Just imagine, Greg, how electric it would be if you had 80,000 people with pom-poms that knew exactly the hand motions to do at the same time as the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
He's just warming up to the
Say
idea.
what? Yeah. Ba.
they're not all winners.
That's right.
Give me a call.
And you know it.
And you know it, and you do know it.
Get to the call.
Don't make me laugh. I will cough. By the way,
There it is.
can I put a bow on house arrest?
Yeah.
Okay, at any time in this country, there are approximately 250,000 people under house arrest, okay? This is a weird background for this conversation. 250,000 people under house arrest at any time. You know what we need? And somebody's got to invent it. We need designer ankle bracelets.
Ooh,
Ankle.
I like that.
No,
Love it.
because think about it. If you're under house arrest, you should, Gucci should make an ankle.
Yeah.
That
You know what I'm saying?
It's not bad.
With your initials on it.
Yeah, right. Designer, if you want to pay for it.
Maybe we put it in the store.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
a gold ankle bracelet.
You know what I think, Greg?
Yes.
Zagaki.
Yes.
Now
yes.
we're there.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's go. They gave you some music. You said you wanted to be a hype man.
Yeah.
You said
I'm
you got your
failing, though.
phrases. Just stay with us here. Well, the music will be here the entire time. You get in where you want as the hype man for the show. Can I get back to what it is that Jessica was saying about the national championship game? You get in wherever you want. Yeah. You get in wherever you pick the spots to get in just like that.
With whatever line you want. All right?
For the record, I'm pro cheerleader.
But Jessica, I have heard, and I don't know if what I'm about to say is so, but just from a couple of people who said to me, hey, the national championship game was played Monday night. I'm like, yeah, Ohio State, Notre Dame, it's a giant game. And they're like, but it feels like the championship got spent on the way to the championship when we were all gorging a bunch of football games at a time, and that the national championship game between two giant powers somehow escaped some attention spans in sports that are really spread thin?
And you know it.
I think that happens every year because it's on a Monday and it's like after the bulk of the college football season's already ended. So it always feels like it's like, oh yeah, we have one more game. And then unless your team's playing in it, like it kind of sneaks up on you. And also this year happening right after like the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, which took up a ton of oxygen. Some ginormous games were played this weekend, which I'm excited to hear your guys' takes about. Like, it's a Monday in the middle of January. It just kind of sneaks up on people.
There is something to that, Dan, where on Monday, I was out of gas. I can't believe I'm saying this. I didn't want more football.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I wasn't in the mood for a college football national championship game. it was a Monday.
I wish it was like I know like this will never
Lying
happen, but I wish they could work something out with the NFL and put the national championship game Saturday leading into the NFL games and then Sunday the rest of the games. Like just feels like a missed opportunity. And also having the semifinals on Thursday and Friday, I saw that the ratings were down from last year when it was on New Year's Day, because New Year's Day is a huge college football day. And so just like weekday playoff games is hard for fans. It's hard for spectators, obviously. It's just weird.
I don't understand why it is that people wouldn't just see that as a giant game and that's it. It's always been a giant game. That game played, I don't care how much sports is going on around you. The championship of college football is the biggest of things every year.
I kind of disagree. I've always been a kind of like the championship game's cool and the national championship's important, but the season is the best part. Like the regular season is the best part of the football season, and bowl season I really love. But I like the national championship game for the last 8 years has been a blowout. There's rarely a close national championship game. That's not really, like, to me, it's the opposite of the Super Bowl. It's not like the crowning jewel of the season.
Too many games.
Anti-climax is what you're arguing?
It's how it's kind of felt every year.
I've always treated college football as like some sort of appetizer for the NFL. And so I like my college football to come before the NFL. I got Ravens and Bills, and then I was forced to watch something that I was interested in, but the product was not nearly as good.
This also, like, by the way, it is probably just psychological and not affecting too many people, but we spoke about it beforehand with Lucy and I think some with Jess, which is you see the little numbers next to the teams, too, and you see 7 versus 8 for the national championship, and you're like, even though it was the two best teams at the time.
Give me a 1-2.
Yeah, the seeding really threw everything off where you felt like you were getting a lesser than national championship because you had low seeds in the tournament, and they were the best teams that were there.
I disagree with you. I don't think people even really
I saw
care
it and
about
I said,
what the seeds were. Both, I mean, Ohio State and Notre Dame finished 1-2 in the final AP poll. Yeah. And Notre Dame was,
I need to see it on my TV screen. Yeah.
Okay.
The 7 was okay because if I squint, it looks a little bit like a 1, but that 8 really threw me off.
Jessica, I cannot have one of these seasons of your lifetime. Please, video, tell me you can find that video of her sneezing. Please. One of the seasons of your lifetime, have it interrupted by, hey, at the end, it's going to be anticlimactic when... I don't know if 31-3 made you feel that way, or...
I don't think it was anticlimactic. I guess I just feel like the national championship game every year feels like this, where it's like kind of randomly after the season ends, and especially this year because it went a week longer. Like, both of these teams had school last week. Like, it's just weird.
So you guys realize that what you're saying really is that the end of the college football season has now become, to you, I'm tired of football. This is the last one. I'm kind of sad. Yeah, it's for the championship. But my God, what a holiday smorgasbord of gorging on football. And at the very end, I've just got like the feeling after Thanksgiving of I'm burpy and farty. I don't feel so good. And okay, thank you, football. Go away until next season.
I don't know if I could say, I wouldn't go that far, but like, yeah, like I think the football season sort of does climax around New Year's Day. Like, that's like the big, that's why it made a lot of sense to have the semifinals on that day, and then you have like one more game after that for the title. But that's obviously not how it is with the 12-team playoff now. There's another week in between, and so it does sort of like taper off a lot more slowly. But either way, I think this game probably got like monster ratings. It was Ohio State and Notre Dame. I'm sure a ton of people watched.
So this is why I think, though, and I'd like to see what the numbers are because I'm sure of it. I'm sure that that we are expressing. I'm hearing you guys talk, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, and I'm hearing when friends of mine are saying, hey, the championship was played, as if there's so much sports going on all the time that, of course, the NBA regular season is now less important than it's ever been, even if you care deeply about the NBA.
Right.
Because you got just so much to occupy your time, and Billy wants to be on house arrest and just be with his kids and leave me alone. Give me the 40 minutes I can get in the bathroom
He
hiding.
said nothing about kids.
I never mentioned
toilet.
kids or my family. You keep bringing that up. Greg, I was thinking because you mentioned designer like ankle monitors and ankle bracelets.
Yep.
You know, one of the problems with house arrest, I think, is that you have a certain number of people on house arrest at the same time. As you mentioned, 250,000 at any given time
of
the year.
Guess by me, right?
But like a lot of them, I mean, they're essentially they're paying their mortgage, they're paying rent or whatever, but they can't really leave. I feel like maybe we have an opportunity where we could set up like situations where like multiple people under house arrest cohabitate. You know what I mean? Maybe we set up like an apartment complex where it's just full of people on house arrest.
Right. A house arrest. A house arrest.
That's just jail.
I like that.
Thank you.
Come on. I can't get enough of that. I swear to you. I can't.
See, she said achoo.
She does say achoo. And I thought that was the exclusive domain of older women. I did not think that achoo, spoken cleanly, was a young person thing. Jessica, what other things about you other than your love of Columbo are just an ancient woman existing inside of you? And we'll get to Billy's thoughts on reinventing jail in a moment.
It really is.
Consider everyone in house arrest in the same place. It's
just put them. No, you got it in the future.
Yeah,
We're headed there.
Yeah.
Trust me when I tell you, we are headed to
community house arrest.
living on pods in communities where we've given up our freedom so we don't have to see others. So we don't have to interact with anything human. I want to do everything digitally. Send me my food on a drone. Get away from me. Like, that's who we're going to become as a society?
Yep.
I don't want plans. Just let me stay at home.
Plans suck.
The worst.
Why haven't you gotten there yet, Dan? Why do you still think plans are fun?
He doesn't have kids.
I mean, isn't that obvious? I have pets, and so I have my life because I don't have to be chasing around kids. I think is why Jessica hates kids. Like they're annoying, shouting shit monsters.
Yeah.
What a blessing, though they are.
Oh, they're the best. Love you, kids.
Just don't want to see you.
Why can't you just say no? Just say no. Don't go anywhere. Are you talking about like things
That's
you
not
can't?
how that works.
There's things you can't say no to, like what?
yeah,
Like
of course.
baptisms? I would say no to that.
Oh no.
Oh, I
can't do
would
that.
go see your baby get dunked
Birthday
underwater.
party.
It's
You can't
easy
say
to
no.
sit there, not have kids, and tell other parents how easy it is to say no. It's not
Yeah.
easy. It's impossible.
And once you get married, that cute game of things are voluntary is done.
Yeah.
You have to go to all
They're all
these
ball
things.
and chain.
Recent estimates say it's between 125 and 150,000 people under house arrest in the United States.
Jeez.
So off by about 100,000.
What an opportunity, though, for housing.
All right, so I'd like you to create a commercial campaign on behalf of house arrest. I'm Billy on behalf of the merits of house arrest, because I think you would get a following and it would be totally culty. Can I get back to what it is that I walked into this morning, though, which is Greg Cote, Hall of Fame voter, you heard all the arguments breaking out in the other room about CC Sabathia's not this, Billy Wagner's not that. And I yesterday made Mark Andrews an immortal, not just merely a Hall of Famer.
It was a weird day.
An immortal. Yeah. So we are now arguing Hall of Fame in every corner and crevice of Meadowlark Media.
Yeah. Good tight end, Mark Andrews.
Yeah, not immortal, though.
He could make the Hall someday.
He could, but he's not immortal, is what we're saying.
No, you're right.
Delaney Walker has more catches than he does. I mean,
well, Delaney was good, too.
Not immortal, though.
No, who's immortal? Who's immortal? Babe Ruth is immortal.
Which tight end do you think would be hardest to kill?
Gronk.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
No, I think you've got so many tight ends now in the sport.
And they're tough and giant.
Dallas Goedert.
I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know how you'd kill McBride. What are you going to do to kill McBride?
You can lure a certain number of tight ends just into a forest. And then anything can happen.
But Goddard stiff-armed the guy and then slowed down to stiff-arm the same guy again.
And then and then a third time. All you say is true, and yet if I were walking through the wilderness and George Kittle came out from behind a tree, I would run away.
You would be right to do so.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this because I wish violence, obviously, on any tight ends. I'm just saying if we're literally doing immortal, I'm trying to figure out which one would live the longest.
Who would be easiest?
I think Hernandez. Hernandez.
I
think Shannon Sharp lives the longest.
I say Mike Gesicki.
Somebody
for taking guns out of it.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Let's do this just generally slightly more subtle than that. Mm-hmm. You can do it. I know you can. Gronk, can you get me the sound of Bob Einstein?
Oh boy.
I want to tell the history of this because we've been praying at the altar of Gronk for a long time. I mean, what a majestic thing, polar bear, to see gallop across the secondary and change a position that Tony Gonzalez and Antonio Gates and Shannon Sharp had turned into, all of these guys are kind of like tweener power forwards in basketball. Monster athletes. And so the position starts to change, and this is an immortal. Bob Einstein is an immortal. Put it on the poll. Is Super Dave an immortal? This is how he talked about Gronk.
Let's go with Gronkowski, who should be tested for something. Because I've never seen a human being like that go off the field, and he like snorts to his teammates. There's no English or anything spoken.
He is made of circuits. You're absolutely right.
He is. There's fire coming out of his helmet. And when he goes across the middle, forget it.
49ers and Redskins.
What do you think he says in the huddle besides slobbering and breathing and sneezing and stuff? Do you think he knows his own name when they say, Gronk, we're going to you? Or do they just tase him a little bit?
So good.
How you gonna kill Ebron?
Ooh.
Why are we killing people? I feel like
because Billy did that. Because it's Wild Billy Wednesdays.
No, it's
that's
just
why.
immortality. We're tying Bob. Unfortunately, we found out not an immortal.
Not immortal, right?
Yeah.
I guess yes.
Yes.
That is
T's
too
and P's
soon.
of the family.
That is too soon.
Oh, they'd like that joke.
That's too soon. They would like that joke.
Bob would love that joke.
He would like.
I heard that at his funeral, he was handing out they had cocktail napkins with some of his dirtiest jokes, and that's what was giving to the guests at his.
We were so
funeral.
close to doing a remote from his funeral.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of
What a weird sentence.
Yeah, seriously.
A live show.
Greg thinks Steve Martin's a bad actor.
What? Oh, yeah. No, we were talking about murders in the building. Or only, what's it called? Only murders in the building.
You got it.
And I think it's a poorly acted show.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think any of the main, Martin Short, famously a bad actor.
What?
He's a good, he's funny.
He's overrated as an actor.
Yeah, he was good on SNL.
No,
He's
he
a
is.
comic actor.
Famously a bad
He's not
actor.
an
So funny, Greg.
No.
You know,
This is an immortal. He's an immortal.
Martin Short
is
Yes.
not. No, he is
an
not.
immortal. You're giving out immortal too easily.
Right,
Exactly
Handing him
right.
out.
Jeez.
I mean,
Put it on the poll. Is Martin Short a
Jeez.
comedy immortal? You guys are disrespectful, man. Jiminy Glick alone is a Hall of Famer. That's one of his characters. You guys are being. Oh, come on.
I love Martin Short. I laugh every time I see. He doesn't even have to say anything. I'm just like,
You guys are
funny.
disrespectful of career.
No.
Oh my God.
Groucho Marx.
Blasphemous
was immortal.
turds.
Boom. Old Groucho.
Blasphemous turds.
Blasphemous turds. You guys are disrespectful of career. God.
No, come on, Martin Short.
Martin Short is better at what he does than anyone you've ever known is at anything.
You're afraid to offend Hollywood.
Yep. In the bag. On
Not
the tape.
wrong. I mean, jeez.
Am I? Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right? I'm afraid. So wait a minute. On behalf of Hollywood,
Nary a bad word about Hollywood.
Make-
Dan.
Say something bad.
Exactly
Make
right.
clear your
Hear it.
accusation. Hold on. Make
Take a
cle-
shot at
I-
Tinseltown,
make-
Dan.
Make clear your accusation. You're telling me that my opinion of Martin Short is compromised.
Yeah.
By my running the filter of I would not want to offend Hollywood here because
Right.
just an amorphous, faceless Hollywood. There's no one person here. It's just I don't want to say anything ill of Judd Apatow's neighbors. Like
call them all phonies, Dan. Come on.
they are all phonies. And
Whoa. It's a bridge
Easy.
too far.
Wow.
Wow. Careful
That's
there.
too
Might get back
much.
to Daddy Hollywood.
All phonies. Wow. I didn't call Martin Short a phony. I called him
Right.
a bad actor.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
a bad actor.
Yeah.
He's
Overrated.
Okay,
he's very theatrical.
An overactor, maybe.
What are we doing?
That's his character in that show, though. He's like he's a theater
theater guy.
producer.
Right. Yeah, true. But that's his stereotype. Like that's who he is in every role he's ever played.
Yep. He's always that guy.
Yeah.
Be a football player. Be a tight end. That would
Right.
shock me.
Some
Yeah, we
range.
have to kill him.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. Martin
Right.
Short, tight end.
Yeah.
Are there any underactors out there? Who underacts?
I think there are under actors.
Vin Diesel.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's just Vin Diesel.
Please tell me.
He's not even
just
acting.
Please
He
tell
thinks
me.
he's Dominic Toretto.
Please tell me that I'm talking to a room full of people that don't know what Martin Short has done with those Glick celebrity
Oh, they're the
interviews.
best.
We all
They're the
know.
best.
I remember the character.
Because it's immortal.
Okay, but it's just that. That's just one.
So do something else. That's all Greg's saying.
Yeah.
Be something other than Martin Short.
Right. Name 10 other characters that he's done.
Go ahead. We're waiting.
10, 15.
10
Go
characters
ahead.
of any
Go.
actor, Greg.
I'm counting.
Rambo.
You just named 10 actors. How about
Jiminy
that?
Glick. And that's amazing. That's a makeup thing.
Oliver Putnam.
You know, half of the fun there is.
So whether
put 100
you
pounds on
believe, okay, I don't know how you're 70 years old, and I don't know how you think of comedy legends, but Steve Martin and Martin Short touring the country, doing comedy / music.
Yeah, I've seen their show.
Well, okay, but Steve Martin's career is he was the best stand-up comic in the world, and then left in his 30s because he just wanted to do other things, and then did all of the other things, and now teams up with Martin Short, so the two of them still have a hit TV show in their 70s and 80s, and you disrespect that?
Look, I saw Steve Martin when he had an arrow through his head. I saw him when he was a stand-up comic, long before the acting.
You saw The Jerk.
Yeah, right.
Bona fides.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I respect Steve Martin. Steve Martin is a lot closer to immortal than Martin Short.
No doubt.
Agreed.
No criticism meant to Martin.
Did this start with Steve Martin as a bad actor?
It did.
It did.
It did,
'Cause You
yeah.
said they were both.
Yeah.
You said all
Right.
three of them were bad.
Yeah, bad actors. Yeah.
Yeah, sure thing.
Hey, you sold that car yet?
Yeah, sold it to Carvana.
Oh, I thought you were selling to that guy.
The guy who wanted to pay me in foreign currency, no interest, over 36 months? Yeah, no. Carvana gave me an offer in minutes, picked it up, and paid me on the spot. It was so convenient.
Just like that.
Yeah?
No hassle.
None.
That is super convenient.
Sell your car to Carvana and swap hassle for convenience. Pickup fees may apply. All set for your flight?
Yep, I've got everything I need. Eye mask, neck pillow, T-Mobile, headphones.
Wait, T-Mobile?
You bet. Free in-flight Wi-Fi. 15% off all Hilton brands. I never go anywhere without T-Mobile. Same goes from a water bottle, chewing gum, nail clippers,
Okay,
passport.
I'm gonna leave you to it.
Find out how you can experience travel better at T-Mobile.com/travel.
Qualifying plan required. Wi-Fi were available on select U.S. airlines. Deposit and Hilton Honors membership required for 15% discount. Terms and conditions apply.